Radio.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Army Men Toys in Space, Part 3, the finale. This one's been especially fun making for you guys. The unpredictable nature of this game makes it really fun to play and really fun to record, and it's great to leave all the mishaps in there. If you're new here, I recommend that you go back and watch Part 1 and Part 2 just to catch yourself up to speed, but if you just want to come along for the ride right here, that's fine too. Last episode we left off saving the citizens from their plastic homes with our convoy, and we're moving on to the next mission. Let's get this going.
Sarge, take these tanks and secure the 3 indicated strategic points. By doing so, Tina and her troopers will be able to beam in and reveal why this area seems so important. Make sure Tina succeeds in her mission. HQ out.
If you thought we've escaped tank hell from the last mission, that's hopeful thinking. This is more tank hell, so much in fact that it gives you more tanks to fight more tanks with. When I was a kid, I would rush in with my tanks just to see what would happen, and most of the time, if not all the time, it would just end in complete failure. The best option is to actually set them up in a little defensive line like this. If anybody else out there knows what I mean, if you just leave them sitting there, they have a problem with shooting each other. And to be honest, there really isn't that much else to say for the first part of this mission other than handling it the way you handled the last one, with a mortar guy. You just go around wrecking shop with one dude, and hopefully he survives the whole time, and if he doesn't, you can just reload the mission. If you wanted to do it in a more fun way, I welcome you to do so, but it did not work for me. Here's an example of what I meant by setting up your tanks this way. If you set them up this way, they're not going to accidentally clip themselves when an enemy comes by, and also Sarge is completely safe. Also, I'm really impressed with this dude's maneuverability. He's surviving missile hellfires somehow, and he's still going. Almost. Now that you've wiped out every single tank and dude on the map, you can move your tanks into the strategic points that they're supposed to be in. I had no idea how to set these up when I was younger. It was so much trial and error, but I found this way to be the most helpful, putting most of your guys to the right, while keeping a pretty decent yet light defense on the left side in the middle. Also, don't forget to pick up these power-ups. They're free, you might as well get them. And for some reason, I don't know why, I always turn on this vacuum. Maybe some guys get sucked up off screen and I don't notice. Now prepare yourselves for one of the biggest difficulty spikes in the entire game, thrown at you very quickly. You have to hold each of these strategic points for 40 seconds, and 10 seconds in, it's already proving to be extremely difficult. They throw everything but the kitchen sink at you.
That hit the spot. I need an air attack.
A reason why I saved all the tanks in the beginning is because if one of them's destroyed, just replace them quickly and you can get back to the countdown timer.
The portal to our homeworld is inside that black box. You need to get me there so I can open it.
Finally, the Galactic Army has arrived to fight by our side. You think, at this point, you know the table should be turned, right? Wrong. Even though they have some really good offensive capabilities and the Gatling guns are awesome, they're just way too weak to survive anything like this. take a look at what's on the map, you realize why I run.
We can probably expect some alien resistance on the other side of this portal.
I need an air attack.
Alright, if you have him just standing basically next to it, there you go. Then you can just quickly escape. You're not meant to stay here.
Sarge, Tina, this is HQ. Our scanners are picking up some strange reading to the north of your current location. This could be the alien lab we've been looking for. Your mission is to infiltrate the alien lab and upload any useful information about the alien hive from the main computer. HQ out.
Would you look at that, the toys have finally made it to space. And it's hostile already. I didn't expect the last frontier to be a complete war zone the second you step through the portal, but hey, you know what? I'm from Earth, I'm not from here. It's their customs. The beginning of this mission throws you into the thick of it very quickly, as you can see, but it's perfectly fine just to sit around and at least defend yourself while you gather your thoughts. Your first objective is to trample over all of these alien body parts to the left side of the map here and save these guys. They're going to be a huge help to you for the rest of the mission. Like all Army Men games, things aren't very apparent at first, but you can actually break down these sections of these crumbling walls here, and I recommend you do so to get a lot of goodies, and you find this poor fella here. He's actually pretty useful for this mission for how slow and clunky that he moves. Giving the Mortarmen a break, your best asset to this mission is actually this bazooka guy, or his bazooka if he dies. You can use this to just close the gap between you and enemies that you can't reach pretty easily without wasting mortars. And there goes Scrappy. Rest in peace. Well, at least you can take his bazooka.
A bazooka.
I also completely missed these as a kid, but take a chance to grab them anytime you see them. They're kind of like the crates you would see in Army Men 1 and Army Men 2, but just electrical boxes.
Flak jacket. Explosives. A wrench. A med kit.
Once you start heading to the middle of the map, these really beefy death rays start appearing with a squad of the little light lasers around them, and they're extremely annoying. But the best way to deal with them is your mortars and your bazooka hit and run tactics if you can do that.
I needed that. Spacemen reinforcements. HQ, beam them in.
The more north you advance in the map, the more alien retaliation you're going to face, even when you go to get specific power-ups. It's like a timed event, scripted event, things like that. And they're very annoying. These light laser guys, I can't tell you how mad I get with them. And not to rag on the game too much, but speaking of annoying, I'm pretty sure we've all felt the pain of these Gatling gun guys completely missing their targets, or not even getting to a target before they're dead. And what I'm recreating here is what I thought I was supposed to do as a kid. kill all the larvas in these acid bath things, and that's why I saved the robot. And here's a perfect example of what you're not supposed to do in any circumstance. Let's watch it unfold.
That hit the spot.
I still have no idea what triggers all those guys to come to attack, but this time they don't come to attack, but I'm not complaining. I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. Once you can maneuver one of your dudes safely through the acid patch area, you can bring him over to this mountain right here and shoot it down. It makes an easy entrance to the next part of the level. And you can bring everybody else along through this area safely, and you're going to need them as backup for the next area. Now for this area, you got some alien backup protecting an alien commander who is puppy guarding this data map that you need to retrieve. And this guy gets pretty annoying. You'll see in a few moments. The second you touch this guy, he teleports to another part of the map that you're currently in and just heads back to the computer. But he's got a lot of health and he does a lot of damage, so I would avoid using Sarge or Tina tomorrow to face this guy until you absolutely needed to. Oh yeah, and don't shoot the computer. I'm not sure why I did this or thought it was a good idea, but there's a reason why he's standing behind it. Your best course of action is to use your gals. Honestly, they are the best things in this game. Stun locking enemies is one of the best things you can do. Unfortunately, this guy is a bit of a coward and, let's face it, a little bit of an asshole. So you're gonna have some casualties in this fight, but it's not too bad, just rinse and repeat. I'm only going into this with Tina tomorrow because I had no other option. I don't want to damage the computer, and I just want to stun lock this guy one more time so we can take him out. This is the one time I would actually use Tina tomorrow in the whole game.
We've got the data map.
HQ,
Let's
I'm
go.
sending
the data map now. We're headed your way.
Commander, our scanners indicate large waves of aliens approaching the base from all directions.
The aliens know we've got the data map. We can expect a full-scale assault.
You heard the lady. Get to work, soldiers.
If there's any missions that have terrified me more than this one, I'd be lying. This one is high octane right off the bat, and there's no shortage of enemies. Your first course of action is to save this rover over here first and get the hell out of Dodge. If there's anybody out there who has completed this mission by actually exploring the map, let me know in the comments below, because there is no way I could do any of that. I would fail every time. After many failures, I realized you can set up the Gatling gun guys on the wall over here on the left side of the HQ, where the first alien assault comes from, and make sure that they can shoot over the walls. The second part of this plan is to use the rover and your napalm launchers to your advantage over here for the long range. They get frozen, they get shot to death, they burn to death. And just set up the same thing on the other side, but this is going to be your weak point because you don't have the rover, so to replace that you can control one of the mortar guys to constantly fire off. still in awe realizing how difficult they made this mission. Like, my god, can they throw anything more at you? I don't think so. And to make matters worse, they took death rays, gave them more health, and now they fire off these bazooka shots that do a ton of damage. It doesn't get any better than this. Looks cool though. And apparently Tan can just fly their planes in space, so this is why I have my guys set up around the perimeter, because they do send things into the base rather than just attacking it, which is already pretty hard enough.
A med kit. Flak jacket. Flak jacket. A flamethrower.
And the final wave is just these two alien commanders that come from both sides, and they're not really that bad to deal with. That's kind of why I set these guys up on the wall in the first place.
Picking up any more aliens. It looks
The
like you
aliens
got
are
them
reeling
all.
from that last assault. Now's our chance to eliminate the alien overlord.
All right, men, wipe those nervous expressions off your plastic faces. We have a job to do.
The aliens are supposed to be led by some sort of overlord. It is said to be in those chambers. Take it out, whatever it is. If this mission fails, all of our efforts will have been for nothing. Good luck, and HQ out. Then let's show these aliens what we're made of.
It's time to take out the Overlord.
Off the bat, I gotta say, the design of this level is really cool. Just the layout of it says, yeah, alien overworld. It doesn't mean that they're any more smarter though, because they're gonna shoot through the walls whether you like it or not. And I hate to sound a little bit negative again, but this is kinda just like the convoy level again. You just mortar everything with the napalm launcher until you can fight the Overlord boss at the end. But you know what? It's still really good, and I give it a lot of points for trying. And it's kinda like Army Men 2, where the last level isn't exactly as hard as the levels before it. But you know what? I'm just gonna let this ride, and then I'm gonna give some commentary at the end.
Spacemen reinforcements. A med kit. A med kit. Beam them in.
Here's the Alien Overlord. It was the weirdest thing seeing this as a kid, because I took a long time to beat this game. So seeing this guy towering over everybody else was pretty menacing, but he's not exactly that strong.
HQ, beam them in.
He would just launch some freezing mortars at you and let his little bug dudes nibble at your ankles while you're stun locked. But he forgot that the weapon he's wielding is your greatest weapon too. Stun locking him. And that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna lie, this did confuse me as a kid. I did let the larvas get to him, which allows him to reform, and then you gotta fight him all over again. But what you gotta do is just stomp the larvas, and he's toast.
A laser rifle. That's one dead alien overlord who won't bother us again.
Toys in Space was a pretty good balance between goofy comedic antics and also real strategy, and difficult strategy at that at points. This game forever stays in my childhood heart. And shoutouts to all my subscribers and all my viewers that have been loving this content, commenting their stories. I love doing this, and honestly, I never expected that I would be doing this. And I got this way almost overnight, so I have you guys to thank for that. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.